base. So he's going to continue now to explain the pasuk that he started off Basi Legani Achoisi Kalo, and how the Yidden are mamshich after there is the level of the darkness, Bachatzois Lailo, the Lailo, when there is the descent, there is a Golus, there's a Hester Ponim. So by Chatzois, when the Yidden start learning Torah, they are mamshich from the level of Chochmah Ilah, the mamshich into Chochmah Ilah, the Ein Sof, that is later nimshich here lamata. So so the pasuk, so that's what he's going to explain further the pasuk, how this ability to bring down the Ein Sof in the level of Chochmah takes place through the Torah, but how does this take place? Through a Yid. When a Yid learns Torah, he has the ability to be mamshich the Ein Sof and Chochmah. Akoyach hazeh liYisrael liyois bahem val yodom hamshochas Ein Sof baruch hu b'chochmo. This power that the Yidden have to bring down the Ein Sof and Chochmo. Yaharehu yisborech l'maylo maylo mibchinas Chochmo. Hashem blessed is much higher and higher than the level of Chochmo. And we say, V'kulam b'chochma siso, Hashem made everything with chochma. So chochma is considered making Ashiasiya Gashmis. He made the physical world, he made b'chochma. That means that chochma is considered to be relative to Hashem like a physical doing. That's why the pasuk continues to say, Orisi Moiri im Besami. I've collected Moiri, that's one kind of a fragrance. There's Moir, Moiri, my Moir. In Besami, Besami is Besamim, other kinds of fragrant wood that gives off a good smell. So that's Moiri in Besami, collected the Moiri in Besami. The Moiri in Besami is going to say, Moiri represents the good smell that comes from observing the mitzvahs loisasa. Just like the Moir kind of the Besamim comes from a animal which is congealed, becomes hardened. An unclean animal becomes the level of moir. Basically, through battling against the Yetzer Hara, you come to that level of moiri, you come to that level of besami. And the regular besami, in besami, that's the maisim toivim, that's the asay toiv. Through the moiri and the besami, that's what gives the yidden the koyach to bring down the Ein Sof and Chochmah. Hine Moir u'boisem heim minei reach. Moir and boisem, those are types of fragrance. V'hine onuroyim, we see shahareach mechazik hamoyach u'meishiv es hanefesh, that the smell will strengthen the mind and bring back the soul. God forbid, when a person faints or soul leaves him, you give him a strong smell, the smell will bring back the soul. Basically, through the level of the Reyach, the level of Moiri and Besomi, you bring Hashem into the world to bring back the Nefesh, to be Mechazik, the Moyach, the Ein Sof that comes down to the level of Chochmah, comes down through the Moiri Ubismi. The Reyach Zeh Shel HaMoir, this smell, the fragrance that comes from the Moir, Nase Midam Chayet Meya Shenikrosh, that becomes from a animal that is tame, that has congealed. The blood, that's how you make the moir, that fragrance. Kach hine, likewise, metaphorically, Aidei bechinas lekaf yositrachro besur meira betachlis. When you subdue the other side to totally stay away from bad, dahainu bishmiras koloisase biprotum vidigdukon midivrei sofrim. That is by guarding, keeping all details of the prohibitions and all of the rabbinic specifics from the Rabbanon. Not to transgress even one of them. And to force his Yetzer Hara and his animal soul, so that she doesn't follow, that she doesn't go after its nature and its will. Just as example of the hardening and the congealing of the blood of the Chaya Tmeya. So we see that through staying strong against the negative hardening, the Chaya Tmeya, that's the negative, you make out of this a fragrance. Through strengthening against the power of his desire. So from this becomes the level of a pleasant aroma for Hashem. To be elevating, to go up to Hashem, and to be included in the Eirin Sof Baruch Hu. That's the level of the fragrance, the Aliyah. That's the Aliyah. And then we're Mamshich, as you're going to say. Like it says in the Pasuk, by Yitzchok Vayorach es Reyach Begodov. He smelled the fragrance of his garments. These garments are the mitzvahs. These garments are the mitzvahs, and Begodov Bechinas Levushim. Begodov is the level of garments. Shehu Bechinas Makif, which is the level of Makif. Begam Nase Mi Begodov Loshem Begdov. It's also Reyach that comes from Begodov, comes from Loshem of Begdov that betrayed him. Kemoi, as the Pasuk in Yeshaya says, Beged Boigdim Begodu, a garment of the traitors, Begodu, which means that you make by overcoming the Boigdim, the traitor, by overcoming the Yetzer Hara. That's how you get that level of that garment. Through the Ra, when you turn it to good, that becomes the level of Reach. So the Reach, and then what happens? Through this, he blesses him, which happened by Yitzchak with Yaakov, that he was blessed him. V'yitin l'cho mitala shamayim. Pirush shamayim hu b'chinas chochma. You get to get the level of chochma because shamayim stands for shom mayim, which means mekoir halichas shabemoyachud. So we have Tal Hashamayim. Shomayim is the level of Chokhmah because that's the level of Shomayim, which is Mekoir Halichus B'Moyach. That's the source of the moisture which is in the brain. The Tala Shomayim. What is the dew of the Shomayim? Hu b'chinas hamshochas oiren sobar chushnimshach b'chokhmah chulu. That is extending the light of the Ein Sof in Chokhmah that comes through Vayora Chasreach Begodov, through the fragrance of the him of the Aseh and the Laisasa, that you elicit, you bring down the Tala Shomayim, the level of Ein Sof into the Shomayim. I must cause Mizeh B'Parshas told the same Dibra Maschil Re'ereich B'ni. B'Zehu Orisi Moiri. That is, I collected my Moiri. Moiri Pirush Hareach Shel HaMoir. That's the fragrance of the Moir B'Shmiras Mitzvahs Loisas. Im Bismi. Then what is together with the Bismi? That's the second part. That is the level of the reach. Mikol shar atzei boisa. The smell that comes from all the other wood that give off a good smell, the besomim, the boisa. Shu bechinas. That is the level la kofia sitra achro b'shmiras mitzvos asei. That is to subdue the other side by keeping the mitzvos asei. The Moiri comes through fighting against the Loisasa, fighting the Yitzhahara and to subduing it, to keeping even the Digduk Soifrim of for Loisasa not to do. But the Mboisem is to force the Sitra Achra to subdue it by to keep the mitzvahs, say the positive mitzvahs. That is the Hainu, that is. Lokuf tivoy belimud atoyra yoser meharagilus. To force his nature by learning Torah more than he's used to. Ubenisinas hatzedaka yoser metivoy, and by giving charity more than his nature. Bechein bezrizus koyum kol hamitzvus. And same thing is by being quick with zrizus to observing all the mitzvahs. Ulahosir kol meneya mibayis umibachutz. Yeah, it says bachutz, right?
Yes.
Yes,
bachutz, bachutz.
Meaning anything that prevents you from the inside, your own, or from the outside, externally. So what happens? That is the level of bismi. Until both of them, through Moidi and Bismi, through the level of subduing Sumeravasi you merit that from this comes a powerful, strong smell, strong fragrance, which goes up above. That is to bring back the soul. That they should extend the Ein Sof in Chokhmah. Over there, Bepirush, he explains, Ani Toiroscho Shashoti. Oh, so that's the part, second part, Orisi Moiri in Basmi, the two levels of Asay and Loisas. Then we continue, Ochalti Yari im Davshi. Those are the sticks that have sweet in them, like honey sticks. Normally, you suck out the honey from the stick and you throw away the stick. But here he says, I ate yari im divshi. I ate the stick together with the honey. what is the stick in this case, in this context? In this context is the malachim are called the sticks. They provide all the good fruit, because all the fruits and everything comes through the malachim. They're the sticks that provide, on them grows all the fruit. All the hamshachas in this world comes through the malachim. Pirush, Yori, Nikra Hamalachim. Yori is referencing the malachim. They are called Shehem Nikroim Atse Shitim Oimdim. They are called the standing cedar tree. So the tree standing Oimdim. They're standing. Those are the trees that stand. And they provide, just like we have physical trees providing for us the foods, they stand and provide for us. Why are they called standing? V'nikroim Oimdim. They're called that they're standing. That is similar to Moi Srafim Oimdim. Like we say, the Srafim, they're standing. That's why they're called Oimdim. And on them it is said, on these wood, on these malachim, it says, Vayatzmach Hashem Elikim, and Hashem Elikim sprout kol eitz nechmod lemare, all lust trees that are beautiful, lusting to the sea, v'tov l'maychel, good to eat. So why are they called the food? Because shehem b'chinas hamaychel. The malachim are the level of food. Why shebahem bal yoda magia hashpah liYisrael u'lechol ha'olam? Because in them and through them comes the flow for all the Yidden, for all the world. Hein beruchnis, hein begashmis, spiritually or physically. Everything goes through the malachim. That's why they're considered to be the food, because they bring all the hamshachas. Kimai barazal, as our sages tell us, ein lecha esav milmato she'ein loy malach milmaylochu. There is no grass that doesn't have a mazla malach. That this is an angel, which means milmayla, and then the gavoya. There's an angel. The hamshacha that comes to this world comes through the angels. That's the physical world. Also the flow, the spiritual flow. Liya is chokhmah bina, that there should be chokhmah bina chulu, comes through the malachim. Ay hagam kavaya yitan chokhmah. The pasuk says in Mishlei that Hashem gives chokhmah. So why are we saying the malachim? But he says hine malachim. The malachim heim hashluchim. The malachim are the angels to bring down. Yes, it comes from Hashem, Shem yitn chokhmah, but the malachim hashluchim shehem shluchei hashva. They are the agents to bring it down. For the Ein Sof, blessed be He, to be descending and evolving to such an extent, it's impossible only through many restrictions in various different levels. Dargin al dargin, and many steps upon steps. So the Eibishter gives it, but it has to go through a ishtalshlus. This ishtalshlus, heim b'chinas hamalochim shebechol olam. Those are the angels in each world. Shehem keilin la'orin sof baruch hu shemisamtzem u'mislabish b'toichom. They are the vessels to the blessed Ein Sof that restricts itself and dresses up in the malachim. Umehem mekabel neshamas Yisrael And it's from them that the souls of the Yidden get their love and the fear of Hashem. So that means that also the spiritual hashpah goes through the malachim, the physical and the spiritual. And that's why they're the trees that have all these fruit. For this, along this path, that's why the sages instituted the bracha of Yetzer Echad. Av sha'malachim eimdim berum olam umashmim b'yirachulu. So even though the malachim, they are on a very high level, they stand berum olam, on the height of the world. Mashmir b'yacham b'koidir v'kivchayim alacholim kumahu. They're high madreged. So why are we reading about the angels, which seems to be totally beyond us? But yet, this would be like an example, one who comes in front of a great king, that upon him falls a fear and a dread. He sees many of the officers, the most honorable of the land, they are falling on their faces. He sees these great people are all falling and bowing down to the king. So that you see when you see the Sorim, you harei Kabbalas Yirazu min haSorim. So that means that you're getting this fear from the Sorim because they are bringing you that fear by observing them. So that's the bracha of Yetzer Echad. The same thing is with the bracha of Avas Olam. So over there we say Eich. That's also gives us along this path of the Malachim. How this additional love and compassion that the Eibishter Chamalto, the Eibishter has compassion, and you brought us close to your great name. How do we see this? Because compare us to the Malachim. And then you get to see the great love of the Eibishter. So it means it also comes through comparison to the Malachim. The energy, the vitality of the angels, they come from the Ruach of Hashem's mouth, so to speak. Mashaikin Yisrael, Eden came to the level, come from Machshava, which is a much higher level. So through reflecting and realizing that he is higher than the Malachim, that awakes in him a love. Because he sees his closeness to the king. After seeing all these many and honorable officers, the servants of, and yet they're not so close like him. So that gives him a feeling of Ava, love to Hashem. So it turns out also Mekablim Neshamas Yisrael Ava V'Yira de Amalachim. So it turns out that they get the Ava de Yira. The brachas Yetzer Echad is the level of Yira. The bracha of Ava Soilam is the level of Ava. How do we get it? We get it through the Malachim. Same thing is on the other side. All the flow to the other side, so that there can be physical pleasures, and there can be physical chokhmah. That's also to the angels. They are the ones that give the flow on the other side as well. Shezelu mazeh osa likim. Hashem made it one opposite the other. Madreges hatuma neged madreges hakedusha. The steps of impurity corresponds to the steps of kedusha. Va'odam ubal b'chira livchayr hatoif. A person has the choice to choose good. V'lasis atzmai merkava l'kedusha, and make himself into a chariot for holiness. Sheyushpa lo shefa l'kus al yidei malachim hakadoshim. You could get, in order to get the flow of godliness through the holy angels, you could get also the negative, because the malachim give you zelu mazeh, they can give you levels of tumah, which are against them the levels of kedusha. But a person has the choice to make himself a chariot, a carriage of kedusha, to get the positive. Bezohu, and this is Ya'ori im Dafshi. So we just said that the angels are the Yar. They're like the sticks, the forest, the sticks over there. And what is Dafshi? Dafshi Pirush Mine Mesikus. That's the various kinds of sweets. It's called the honey. Those are all the fruits of the above mentioned trees. All fruits are called sweetness, the fruit is sweet, so we call them the dafshi, the honey. Those are the fruits. What does this represent, the fruits, in the metaphor that we're talking about, in the person's davening and the relationship and the hashboah that he gets from the madreges to kedushim, from the malachim? That's the excitement, the fruit, the sweetness is the excitement of the soul. That extends because of the flow of the angels, both in Yetzer Oir v'Ava, the Ava v'Yira. So there's that excitement. That is the dafshi. That's the honey. The loch nikroim pedes hayar. That's why they're called fruit of the yar, of the forest, or the fruits of the malachim. Of the malachim. Why? Shaharei atze hayar, because the Ava v'Yira Zudi Yisrael, because this love and fear of the Yidden that has been born and extends through the trees of the fathers with the malachim. So that's Yori im Dafshi. Yori is the angels that give the hashpah. Dafshi is the excitement that the person has from the Ava v'Yira that he gets from the malachim. And that is like ochalti yorim dafshi. Kihine ala malochim nemar v'toiv lemachel, as we say, eitz nechmod v'toiv lemachel. Shehu the malochim shu kemoshul hamachel hamchayes odom. It's like the food that feeds the person. So while the food feeds you, gives you the energy, imkoze, but yet the person is greater than the food that he eats. The food energizes him, but he is in a greater level. And the food is elevated through the person. From the Deimet Tzmei becomes a person. So the food is elevated to Odom, from Tzmei Chai to Medaber. Kach al yidei shemekablim Yisrael mehamalochim. So they're just like the food, through the fact that they didn't get from the Malachim. Misalim HaMalachim al Yodom. The Malachim are elevated through the Yid. Yaharei Neshamas Yisrael Oilim Lemaila Hagbe Yosef, because the Yid's Neshamas go up much higher after they get the Hamshachef through the Malachim, but they go up above much higher. Al Yidei Zeh, Al Yidei Mesiras Nefesh Be'echad. Through the level of Mesiras Nefesh, when they say Shema Yisrael Shem Echad, Sha'al Yidei Zeh Nase Bechinas Lishta'ove Begufat Malcha. That way becomes through the Echad to sort of be sucked into the body of the king. Echad Be'echad Mamish, be one and one, to unite, to fuse with Hashem, because you are at a much higher level of the neshamas. Mashenken hamalachim b'tzad atzmom ein yicholim lehisached kol kach. The word is lehisached, yeah, lehisached.
Lehisachad.
Lehisached, okay, yeah. So ein yicholim lehisached kol kach. So you need the malachim need the person, what the Adam goes up to a much higher level than the malachim. The malachim go along with them to a much higher level than go themselves. Over the Ramaschel Karesh Yoyer Hanal, V'Apostel Chobanayir Be'inyan Kitapor B'Atzer Hayar, V'Aima Shekosu Me'inyan Achalti Yorim Davshi B'Divra Amaschil Ani Yishena V'Libi Or Hanal. I'll do one more piece. I think we'll get it. Shosisi Yeni Im Chalvi. Further, the pasuk says, "I've drank my wine with my milk." Yeni Im Chalvi. So Yaini, the wine, who bechinas Yayin Hamasameach Elikim Chulu. By wine we say wine makes us Sameach Elikim ve'odam, and Chalbi Pirush al derech Moshe, the milk means, by way of example, Hamagado as Havlad. Yeah, it says Havlad, yeah?
Havlad, yes.
Yeah. Shal Yidei Yenikosei Mehacholov Nase Gidlei Baru. By nursing from the milk, his limbs grow. You have joy and growth. Those are the two, Yain and Cholov. That revelation of godliness from Hashem's blessed Chokhmah, who megadil es hamidas shebenefesh, that increases, that grows the emotion of the soul. V'nitoysev bohem toyses oiro dveikus hanefesh belikim chayim, and that adds additional light and cleaving of the soul in the living God. That's the level of cholov that we have in from the Eibish's Chokhmah, to increase. The Chokhmah gives us an increase in our emotional excitement to Hashem. And on this path, there was instituted the middle brachas of the Amidah, the eight brachas, Baruch Choinen Hadas, Baruch Haroitze B'Tshuva, Chulu. Liyois Toisefes B'Rocha V'Hamshochos Giloi Likus, so that we should have additional blessing and extension of godliness, Nimshach, B'Mchinas Das, U'Tshuva, U'Slicha, Chulu, into the level of Das, Tshuva, and Slicha. That's the additional, that's the Gidl, that's the growth, that's the Cholov. Shem Shehu Milmato Lemaila, just like it is from above, from below to above, to grow, to become on a higher level. Kachulamaylo inyan, something is the idea of shasisi yeni. Also, we have the drinking of I drink the wine, which is yayin hamisameach elikim. That's the yain that is misameach elikim. I know. B'chinas elikim b'tzimtzum hamastirim es oira chochma shebimidois yizbarach. You have the level of elikim. You need the yayin to be misameach the elikim because the elikim is the level of tzimtzum that block, they obscure the light of chochma, which is in Hashem's midos. Nimshach b'chinas yayin, so you extend the level of yayin, v'yotze soid, nichnas yayin yotze soid. The secret comes out. Shenimshach hahelem, the alma the iskasya b'chinas giloil chulu, so that the hidden level that is in alma the iskasya comes out into the open. That's the yayin that comes milmayla lamata. V'ayim mashakosu b'dibur hamaschil. Inyan Nisach. So it says, Valderech Zeh, who Inyan Chalbi, similar is also the Inyan of the milk, Hainu Hamshochas Gilui Eirin Sobaruchu, also in level Cholov, to bring down the revelation, Eirin Sobaruchu b'midoisov. In the Eibishter's measure, Sheyisnagu Hamidois, the B'chinas Gatlus, the B'chinas Tesefes Veribui. Nikra b'shem cholov, so that the midas should go in a way of greatness, in additional and many, that's called cholov. So before he touched the level of cholov to grow the midas poshet matalamayla, but now he says this gives you a gadlus hamidas, it gives you a level of chokhmah. So Inyan Yud Beis Brachas Amtsoyish. This is the 12 middle brachas of the Amida, besides the 3 beginning and 3 end, the 12 middle ones. Shayidei HaBracha, through the bracha we say Baruch Ato Hashem, which is Shuhut Teisafes V'Ribu Ha'oir Midosov Yizbarach. By adding more light in the Eibishter's Midas in the level of Midas in Atzilus, Nimshach liyos choynen adas lachlonu chulu. We get down here the level of choynen adas lachlonu. Okemavur lemaylo beinyan of harachamon chulu. Is it of harachamon? Va'ayin beinyan b'chinas cholov b'parshas truma b'divra maschil miyitancha ka'ochlin yoinek shdei imig.